by night. Keep going crazy.
Hello, 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 guys. It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Women Exodus. How are you guys doing? It's almost TGIF. Happy Thursday, guys. Like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Please say what's up in the comment section. Please say hey in the chat. Let me know that you're listening. Also, when you have a moment, please take a look at the description, the link in the description, and follow my backup channel. It's LexX, that's Lexex. And again, you will find the link in the description below. I feel so much better, guys. Oh my gosh. Yesterday, I felt awful because I had gotten my second COVID vaccination. Now I feel good. Other than a slight headache this morning, I feel awesome. So I'm happy. So I'm so happy to be here. Before we get into it, you guys keep sending me donations, and I told y'all I'll never get used to it. I'm so appreciative for you guys. So special shout out to Brent over at Roadrunner89. Y'all check him out and his beautiful wife on his channel. If you love my channel and would like to hear a white male's perspective on the whole divestment swirling sector of YouTube, check him out. He loves his Black wife and absolutely adores her. And so, yeah, if you enjoy my channel, you'll really love his. So I encourage you to go ahead and check him out. Thank you again, Brent. Also, thank you for V in training. You made me smile, girl. I really appreciate your support, and I'm so thankful for you. Also, shout out to JM. She's always sending me coffee money, and she's the one who always sends me stories. Thank you so much, sis. Also, special shout out to Tammy Slayton's Barely Used Toothbrush. I love your name. You always support and you always look out. So thank you so much again for the encouragement and the donations that you always send. Okay, so let's get started. This is another installment of my daily series called the Blackistan Zoo, where we profile the dusty derelicts, animals, and crazy creatures in Blackistan. This premieres Monday through Friday at 6:30 ET. Let's get it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about your Dustavious. So your Dustavious, you'll find him everywhere. He is all over YouTube. You'll find him in the manosphere, of course. You'll also find him in the red pill sector of the internet. His appearance, so he has a non-existent hairline. It's often receding. He also dons a beer belly and is extremely ashy. His behavior, so your typical Dustavious, he is simply a Tyrone who is very hateful. He's very mean and he's very nasty. He is very self-hating and self-loathing. However, he's at the bottom of the totem pole in society and he doesn't possess any power. So he'll project that self-hatred on groups that he thinks are less powerful than him. Typically, it's Black women. So he's very miserable. Dustavious is very disgusting. He has a low self-esteem. So he gets off on denigrating Black women to make himself feel better about himself and his lowly life. He's very misogynist. That's important to call out. And this is only because he envies the dominance and power that white men naturally can command from women, because we know women naturally respect men that possess resources, that are builders and providers. Dustavious doesn't have anything. He hasn't built anything. He has no infrastructure, nothing of value. So women don't respect him. So he projects that anger and that insecurity and becomes very misogynistic and starts to hate women. He's oftentimes very colorist as well, as he hates his Blackness and he resents the power that other groups of men from other communities have. So again, he'll project that self-hatred on women of color. He's also very verbally and physically abusive because he lacks self-esteem. So he wants to hurt others and wants to make those who he perceives as weaker than him feel as low and broken as he does. So your notable Dustavious, when we think about these Dusties, we think about Kitten Hill Samuels, also that Dusty O'Shea dude that we've talked about briefly on this channel before, Tommy Sodomizer, and then also Red Supreme, that loser who keeps lashing out at black women who preach disengagement and divestment. Shout out to Crystal Swirls. She did a live on him recently, and this is my first time hearing of him. He is very, very dusty. He is not a prominent part of the internet, not even the lowly red pill sector of the manosphere. So I had no idea who he was until she shared a video about him. But if you're curious, check out Crystal Swirls. She did an awesome video about that Dustavious. Okay, so now that we know the Dustavious profile, let's look at your Dustavious. And the first clip I want to show you guys is this woman, this black woman, talking about celebrity black men who are Dustaviouses, who demonstrate that no matter how quote unquote high value these losers are, they are still very dusty and are categorized as Dustavious.
Let's read off some colorist things celebrity black men have said. I don't want no black bitch, I'm already black. Light-skinned woman more sensitive, they too tough. Retweeted that same Kodak quote. My daughter a dark-skinned billionaire, that's the difference between her and you. Beautiful black woman, I bet that bitch look better red. Light-skinned women usually have better credit than dark-skinned women, broke-ass dark hoes. Only wanna fuck black bitches with the nice hair. Let's not forget his no dark skins allowed club rule. All the prettiest kids is light skinned anyway, normally. With the red lipstick thing, I gotta be real. You gotta be fair skinned to get away with that. We got some pretty light skinned daughters we gotta raise. We in trouble, my nigga. Nigga can't stand no black ass bitch.
Okay. So that is a dusty montage of your dusty Dustavious, of all the things that these nakers have said disparaging black women. And these men are disgusting. And one question though, guys, did you notice a trend there? Did you notice that 6 out of 8 of those Dustavious dusties are all very dark themselves? Yeah, so we saw Neo, we saw Lil Wayne Douglas, we saw Kevin Hart, his shrimp dick ass, and a plethora of other darker males, all black, all very black, talking about and denigrating black women. And yeah, so this is normal. This is a typical characteristic of your Dustavious. They're hateful, very nasty, and make the most disgusting commentary towards black women. And here's my thing. Black women can be saying nothing, just minding our business, nothing. We'll be focusing on our educations. We'll be focusing up on our level up journeys, our fitness journeys, trying to improve ourselves. And then randomly, here will come a Dusty Dustavious talking about, oh, you fat, black, loud, and ugly. Nobody wants you. And it's like, damn, nigger, can I breathe? Can I breathe? I'm not even bothering you. I'm minding my own business. But here's the thing with them. You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't. Because these fools are like Kitten Hill Samuels, and they'll denigrate black women because, you know, they'll talk about things like, oh, okay, you're overweight. And here's the thing. I was a twig in high school. So up until my mid-20s, I was very, very small. I'm 5'3". I was probably about 110, 110 pounds, maybe 120 soaking wet at my highest. And I have a question for you guys in the chat. So how many of you all black women were like me and got made fun of and criticized for being small by black dudes? You see what I mean? And black men encourage that contradictory BS. They wanted you to be quote unquote thick and voluptuous. And that's why a lot of black women are full figured in the first place. But now they want to denigrate you due to that, as a result of that. It's the same thing with hair. They love to talk about wigs and weaves. But how many of you all have 4C hair texture and got made fun of for wearing your natural toile, your natural hair, and your natural curls and coils? So it just doesn't make any sense. And this is why I encourage all of my listeners and black women to divest and to really just go where you're celebrated. Because Brad and other cultures, other ethnicities and men, they don't care about any of that. They just love beautiful women. Okay, enough of that. Let's keep going. So let's look at this next clip that really epitomizes your Dusty Dustavious. And this woman here, she, again, just really illustrates this problematic, toxic mentality of these Dusties. And she talks about how Black women have to be perfect in order to meet their standards, but how those same standards are down to the floor, the bars in hell when it comes to Becky and other groups of women. So let's watch this next one and then we will talk through.
Okay, but let's get into this comment because I had to redo this like 3 times because they won't let me cuss. But when it comes to Black women and dating, Black men will never choose a Black woman that looks like me. And let's just be honest, they will never choose a Black woman that looks like me because my hair is not done to their standard. I don't have bundles all the way down to my butt, 30-inch of bundles. Nails are not done. I don't have a Instagram body, the Ari body, or whatever y'all want to call it. I don't look like that, so Black men do not choose me. But when it comes to choosing women outside of being Black, they will choose anybody. And let's be honest, when it comes to dating white women or just women outside of their race, period, Black men's standards drop to the floor, beneath the floor, hell, if you will. Okay, they be choosing anybody, but when it comes to Black women, they want them to be this Instagram type of model. No, sir.
Yeah, so she hit the nail on the head. Sis really I couldn't have said it better myself. So she talks about how Black women have to have these nails, 40 inches of bundles, even though they say they hate weave. They have to be made up. They have to look like this perfect IG model, have this hourglass shape. But then we'll turn around and choose a Barnyard Becky and a man body Mylene who has no boobs or butt at all. Yeah, so you got to be IG model, 36, 24, 36 measurements for them. Meanwhile, they're pot bellied, have receding hairlines and empty pockets. In this next clip, we're going to look at biracial Becky, who talks about her Dusty Dustavious father. And I've shared a clip of hers before because she really just illustrates and really does a really good job of sharing this problematic behavior that these men display. And she talks about her Dustavious father and how he shares this problematic ideology. So let's watch this next one. You guys might recognize her from my biracial Becky video. Okay.
The biggest woman here, y'all picked the one that was just like, no.
My biological mother is the ugliest, crustiest looking white woman on this planet. And my biological father is a Black man who obviously does not believe in Black love. Or if he does, it's performative. Me being biracial and seeing videos on the For You page of Black men having such deep hatred toward Black women is disgusting to me because I've seen firsthand with my dad that there are Black men who would rather be with an ugly looking white woman than an average looking Black woman. And so when I say stupid shit like I'm done with Black men, it's not because I have a problem with Black men. It's because I don't want to validate Black men when they cannot validate Black women the way that they should. I will never be your token biracial person who makes you feel like you're in a Black love relationship. If you want a Black love relationship, then be with a Black person.
Okay, sis. So she's talking about this show. I think it's called Married at First Sight. And I don't watch it. I don't watch much TV at all. But I do watch Cynthia G's channel. And I've seen her talk about this show often, and she's shared clips about this show and has, released some commentary that really sums up the fuckery of this guy that's on the show in a nutshell. And so this biracial Becky, she talks about how a man on the show is just like her father, this Dustavious. And he has, this desire for Black women to be perfect. So like she said, Black women have to have a perfect body. They have to work out in the gym, have a 6-pack, have this loosely curled hair texture or like a perfectly laid wig. They have to be made up, gorgeous, picture perfect. And then in the same breath, she's saying all these Beckys have to be is just white. And she admittedly says that her mother is hideous. We saw her mother on one of these installments before, so I'll share again. So that's her mother, obese, morbidly obese. She's not, I mean, you know how like a lot of times women who are thick, who are on the heavier side, you can see they have very pretty faces. They're beautiful women with pretty features. This is not one of those women. But yet and still, this biracial Becky, her Dustavious dad, will drink her bath water because he is a self-hating dust bucket. Okay, so let's keep going. So there's recently been this trending topic that's gone viral on TikTok where Black women are sharing horror stories of their encounters and their experiences with these Dustavious that we're discussing today. And at the beginning of the video, we briefly talked about a few celebs and how they fall in this Dustavious category. So I'd like to talk about this other woman and watch her discussing how she had an encounter with the Dustavious who really demonstrated this dustiness that we're discussing.
What's the most disrespectful thing a Black guy has ever said to you as a Black girl?
Child, I got this one. I was 26 years old, standing in line at a very exclusive Los Angeles club. I live in Los Angeles, and I was with two light-skinned girls and one white girl. And we're walking into the club, and a very famous R&B singer, walked up to me and looked at my girl and said, "You can get in, but no darkies." I kept walking because I was like, huh? He's like, "I said no darkies." And I was literally escorted off the property. Let's just say in that particular day, my dating preferences completely changed. And I just want to say to him, look at me now.
What's the most...
Okay. So this beautiful girl who is absolutely stunning and is gorgeous by anybody's standards, she details an experience that she's had with a famous R&B singer. She's at the club and she's trying to get in, and he tells her no, she can't get in because no darkies are allowed. And then at the end, she sums that up with saying, "Look at me now." So she's obviously talking about Chris Brown. And she's indicating that he said this problematic, those comments to her. And this isn't the first time rumors have come out about him being a colorist and being a Dusty Dustavious openly. We know Tokyo Vanity also said the same thing. I think she said she got kicked out of VIP because he's colorist and he doesn't like darker women. And it's like, you know, what do you guys expect? So I'm not surprised because this fool made a song saying that he only F's Black bees with the good hair. So he has some problems with featureism, with texturism, and with colorism. And you know what? He has some obvious complexes. I don't know. Maybe Chris Brown was picked on for being light-skinned as a child or something. We know they have the most complex, especially as a little boy, because they have rough experiences in Blackistan. So maybe that's what's happening, and maybe he's just spewing this problematic hatred because of that. I don't know. But he's clearly a Dusty Dustavious and possesses this really problematic pathology and problematic behavior. So let's look at this next woman, another woman who discusses her toxic interaction with Dustavious. Let's see. Where'd I leave off? I think this is it. Yeah. This one is a mess.
What's the most disrespectful thing a Black guy has ever said to you as a Black girl? I'll go first. A man actually said that I just made the cut and I should be lucky because I'm the darkest girl he would ever talk to. Like, ew, canceled, immediately cut off. Like, another nigga had the nerve to say that I had small lips for a Black girl. Like, do I just have disrespect being written on my forehead or something? Cause, like, what?
So another gorgeous, gorgeous girl. This girl is gorgeous. She looks like SZA to me. She said she had an encounter with a Dusty Dustavious who was hateful, who was nasty to her, and told her she was lucky to date him. And I don't know. We know that Dustavious is white worshiping. So according to these guys, you probably have to pass the paper bag test to date them. Meanwhile, like Crystal Swirl says, you guys are cheesing, doting on them, talking about, oh, they're chocolate and they got white teeth. And he's saying you're unattractive because you have the same skin color and the same attributes as he does. So a mess. Let's keep going and let's look at another woman who is relaying her experience during an encounter with another Dustavious, and this one happened at school.
What's the most disrespectful thing a black guy has ever said to you as a black girl?
Does it count if they were a child at the time? So in elementary, I was at my cubby and I had long braids that have been in for a while. So, one was hanging and somehow some kid stepped on one and it came out in front of the whole class. So embarrassing. So the next day we're talking about long hair. And when I said something, this black kid said, "Shut up, Brittany. Your braid came out yesterday. And besides, you're black. Your hair doesn't even grow long."
See, so we see the dustiness in these Dustaviouses. It starts very young. They start to terrorize black girls very young. And they'll try to break their self-esteems with this BS. And they'll try to break their spirits young. And this is why I preach full, complete divestment. Not only do you need to divest in your dating choices, you need to escape Blackistan. So I wouldn't raise my children in Blackistan, especially little black girls, because you don't want them to be subjugated to this BS. All right, let's look at this last clip of this woman who is detailing her experience with the Dustavious, and then we will chat.
What's the most disrespectful thing a black guy has ever said to you as a black girl? I'll go first.
No cap. He needs to go check it for you. You too, dog too.
That one was pretty quick, so
What's
we'll
the most
rewind
disrespectful
it.
thing a black guy has ever said to you as a black girl? I'll go first.
No cap. He needs to go check it for you. You too, dog too.
Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, and I bet you this man, well, first off, there's a few things I want to say here. So both of this beautiful girl and this fool who is sending her these voice messages, they are both clearly from another country. And this goes to show, dating from the diaspora, you're still going to experience the same dustiness. Dustavious, he crosses all cultures, he crosses all nationalities, all countries. If he is a Tyrone, he's probably going to possess this problematic type of mentality. And the crazy part is, I bet you this man was the same complexion, if not darker, than this beautiful girl. But that's a self-hating, dumb, disgusting, dusty Dustavious for you. And so I'll sum this up with saying, please beware of Dustavious, please. And this is why it's so important to divest, because these dusty Dustaviouses, they don't make any sense. So they'll say you need to have hair down to your ass, but you can't wear weave. Because if you wear extensions or wigs, you're a self-hating, weave-wearing hair helmet bitch. Then they'll say, oh, well, I like natural hair. Your hair needs to be natural, but not nappy. If your hair is nappy, if it's 4C, if it's too kinky, you look unkempt and unpresentable, and you look like shit. But also, don't get a perm. Don't get a perm. Don't you ever straighten your hair, because then you're also self-hating and want to look like Becky. I've heard them say, oh, no, you need to be thick, but you can't be over 120 pounds. Because if you're bigger than 120 pounds, you're big as a house, you're morbidly obese, and you're a fat bitch, and you look like a linebacker. That's what Kevin Samuel says. They'll tell you need a big butt and you need big boobs like an IG model, but you're not allowed to get surgery. Because if you do get plastic surgery, you're fake, you look ridiculous, and you'll be a botch body bitch. See what I mean? You need to be fully made up, but with no makeup. Because if you wear makeup, then you're catfishing, and then I need to take you swimming on our first date to see what you really look like. And this is what I mean, y'all. This is why I don't understand. If you haven't divested already, I don't understand why. Because at the same time, meanwhile, these men will come to you with a beer belly, a busted receding hairline, a 550 credit score, and make $15.50 an hour as a supervisor at the FedEx warehouse. But then these standards that they have for these women, it's like you got to be a supermodel if you're a Black girl. So divest, y'all. I don't go through any of this. I encourage you to go where you're celebrated. Go, because here's the thing. When you start to entertain men from different cultures and different ethnicities, they love and embrace what's different about you. I had just sent my hubby some lingerie pictures the other day, and he's like, oh my gosh, I love, how that lilac color, how it looks against your dark skin. I love your natural hair. I love when it's curly and coily. That's the type of things that they like and that they enjoy about you. The same things that are rejected within the same Blackistani community that we come from. So, all right, y'all. I appreciate you guys listening. Like I always say, divest, explore your options, go where you're celebrated. Until next time, thank you for listening, guys. Bye.
If y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.